New riff.
New riff. I knew it was something riff.
Fortnite themed.
Better than the old riff.
All right. We're streaming. Let's test audio.
Man, I haven't done this in a while.
Testicles. Testicles.
Popsicles.
Okay, you both are good.
Bicycles. Testicles.
Trent, tell us what you had for lunch.
I didn't eat lunch. I haven't had a meal since Saturday night.
He's fasting.
Any reason why?
This blood draw cannot go bad.
Oh.
That's go good.
So, like, are you just doing it for, like, your sugar and stuff?
No, my cholesterol and my red blood cell count.
So it is not eating for a while?
Oh, man.
Does that affect your cholesterol enough?
It doesn't necessarily lower it, but it's not high because I'm not eating steak every night like I always do.
You sound like you're trying to pass a drug test.
I really am.
He's chugging prune juice so the weed
my
doesn't
doctor
register.
said if it doesn't go well, he's going to send me to like a blood doctor and like a cardiologist and shit.
Go see a hematologist.
I don't want to do that.
Well, he's just trying to get his referral bonus. You shouldn't.
So why is your heart shit? I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. Was it like a baby thing?
No, it's just genetics. I just got bad cholesterol.
Do you remember the Minneapolis Miracle?
That's actually.
No. It caused
Honestly,
an arrhythmia.
Most things started then.
I thought you were going to say the first Minneapolis Miracle was actually Trent, and then the second one was.
No, Trent had like a mini heart attack on that play. I'm not joking.
Probably too.
He's not joking.
Wait, what?
Like he stood up because it happened, and then his chest hurt, and he like had to sit down. And
I've
then
actually
he went
gotten
to
that playing lines.
Are you serious?
Games.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dude.
And then he went to a heart doctor, and they were like, "Yeah, your heart isn't very good."
Dude. Oh man.
Hold on.
Now you understand why he doesn't like Stephon Diggs. He's caused all these problems for him down like in his life.
I will never like question Trent's devotion to anything now. He cares so much.
That's why I take like 3 gummies before I go to Stars playoff games.
Trent's gonna be like watching his kid play soccer, and she's gonna go down, and he's just gonna like pass out.
No, that's not.
I'm actually going to the doctor on next Monday.
I go to the doctor on Wednesday for the first time in like 10 years.
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., and then I got to go get a passport at 8 a.m. on Wednesday.
Dude, big week for you.
Yeah.
For Adeline.
Adulting.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's pause.
I just spent $160 on like medical expenses today, so not a great day for me.
That's really cute.
Yep. That's a lot for me.
You guys aren't hyping this up for me.
Man, really, yeah.
It's just $7,000.
Oh, no, stop.
Seriously, I paid $6.
As long as you got insurance.
I paid $6 for each kid.
If you don't got insurance, forget that.
Yeah, if you don't got insurance, it's gonna be like $20 or $30K
Our
for
health
you.
insurance system is the worst.
All right, that's the opening segment.
Did everyone have Monday off?
All right, we're power. No.
No, the church is
did.
racist, so I didn't get my.
You did?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, because you work at a
holiday.
bank, so that you have to abide by all the federal holidays.
He's the bank.
Even the BS ones.
That makes sense. We got 2
Hope they
new
don't-
holidays this year, but one of them wasn't Juneteenth. We got
What new holidays did you get?
MLK Day in January and then President's Day in February.
Those aren't new holidays.
Screw both of those guys.
But they were
President
new.
and MLK.
They were new in like as far as TI having them paid holidays.
Man,
So
we get MLK. We don't get President's Day. We used to take President's Day and then we swapped them because it doesn't look good if you work on MLK Day. So,
alrighty. Let's pause Austin beep and let's do this thing.
I don't know about my beep ability today, gents. We'll
You got
see.
it. You got it.
Beep. All right, welcome everyone to this week's episode of Making the Call. We are continuing the month of rankings here, what we were doing for the entire month of June. If you've missed the previous 2 weeks episodes, each week we're ranking a different position. it seems like we changed the methodology of how we're ranking these positions each week, but I think we settled on for this week and next week, Redraft Fantasy 2023 because
Oh, we did.
I went with Dynasty.
I know you're joking, but I need to say that you're joking for the listeners.
No, I'm legit not. I just did it for this upcoming season.
I knew it.
You didn't do fantasy, Austin?
I mean, all right. So they're
Golly,
gonna
man, we're 30 seconds into the podcast.
they're gonna be pretty close.
First, I mess up the rankings, then Alex messes up the rankings, and
Austin, welcome
Tradition.
back
There
to
you
the show.
Glad to be
Good
back,
to have you
gentlemen.
as always.
It's been too long. It's been too long.
Yeah, well, so we'll see how these rankings go specifically with Austin's. I think with wide receiver though,
It's
they're
gonna be pretty
probably the
close.
most aligned from a just pure NFL versus like redraft standpoint. I don't think
Is the
there
spreadsheet where if I adjusted it, the formula,
if you adjusted your rankings, yeah.
so everything would adjust?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna do that then. We're good.
Okay. But yeah, so this week we're doing wide receivers, which I gotta say, like I'm very excited for this week's episode because I think wide receivers is probably the only position where the conversation gets more interesting the further down the list you go. Like I think it's more interesting talking about the later round guys versus like the top tier. And so I think this should be a fun episode. You've already heard Rosie and Austin. Trent's on here as well. Alex is feeling under the weather, but we still have his rankings to make the consensus, making the call. Wide receiver, top 32 board, name pending. So let's get into it.
I've got an ear infection. I'm on here. So Alex, what's your excuse?
Are you really criticizing people for
Yeah, no.
Yeah, come on,
excuses
friend
to
of the
not be
show.
on the
It's like-
podcast?
I'm not doing that. Not today.
Okay, just wanted to check.
he just wants to complain about his ear.
It hurts so bad.
I hear you, Austin. It's okay.
Y'all want to know something that's really gross?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I think the pod does.
I got a hole in my eardrum, so I don't get ear infections. Ear infections.
Ear infections. Yeah,
Ear infection.
that didn't sound right.
I don't get ear infections. It just oozes out.
To
all
where?
The pus right out of my ear.
Clip it, baby.
And another thing, so Trent's like pretty much deaf in that ear, and I'd only known him for like a few weeks at this time, and we were standing in chapel, like one of the first chapels of freshman year, and I was standing on the side of him where he's deaf, and I didn't know he was deaf, and I was like leaning over, like whispering things to him, like halfway through the we got like halfway through the chapel, and then he turned to me, he's like, "Dude, I can't hear a thing you're telling me."
You were like, he's into this. He's so spiritual.
I was like, "Oh, okay, good to know."
Dude, stop talking to me right now. I'm trying to listen.
Yeah, I've learned 2 significant health things about Trent in the span of 10 minutes. So we're on good. We're on pace, guys.
Yeah, the other one was only for the YouTube audience. So if you want to hear what the first thing was, go watch the Making the Call YouTube for this week's episode. All right, let's get into the rankings. Like I said, I think it gets more interesting as we work our way down the list. Number 1, we have Justin Jefferson. We all had him ranked number 1. I think he is your top wide receiver if you're ranking for redraft, if you're ranking non-fantasy, if you're ranking for dynasty, whatever your list, he's 1.1. Do we agree with that?
Apparently, that's a dumb question. You're looking right at it.
Well, I know that we all ranked these wide receivers with different criteria, so I just wanted to make sure.
Hey, don't take it personally, Andrew. He's just hungry. So
Supposedly, you know that movie 128 Hours? That's how long it's been since Trent's eaten any food. So
That's not true. I've been like snacking here and there, but I haven't had like a meal. Like I
He's
had
not
like
as-
I had
he's
like
not
a
as
kind
nightly
bar
steak.
that's like
Reese's Pieces don't
8
get you that
inches.
far. There they are.
Yeah, I think that movie is 127 hours. But yeah, Justin Jefferson won. We have
Covering
Reese's
Reese's
all over
wrappers.
It's
You want
been
to
too
know
long.
a story about
audience.
Reese's, or do we have to podcast?
no, let's see. I want to hear the Reese's. story.
I know the story, so yes, go ahead.
Okay, so my sister's boyfriend is allergic to peanuts, and he works at a place that's like 10 minutes from my house, but he currently still lives with his parents because he just graduated, which is like an hour and a half away in the morning during rush hour. So when I was in Minnesota a couple of weeks ago, he asked if he could stay at our house because he had to go in the office 2 times a week. I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. Warning, our house isn't clean because we weren't expecting anyone and we kind of left in a hurry. He goes, oh, that's fine. So it happened. He came, he stayed, he left, and we got back from Minnesota. And I walked into the guest room, and I should have prefaced this by saying I take naps in the guest room all the time because it's the darkest, coldest room in the house. And so I walked in there to take a nap, and there's just a bag of Reese's Minis sitting on the what do you call it?
Nightstand.
Nightstand, sitting on the nightstand that I had left there, and the bag is open. And this kid is like, he eats a peanut, he dies. He touches a peanut, he dies. And he just slept in there with the Reese's right next to his head. And I go, dude, why didn't you move the bag? And he goes, I just kind of like slept on the other side of the bed. Because it's not like it would have helped. You had Reese's all over the house, which is true because it was the last week of school for Michelle. And on her teacher appreciation or whatever, she said her favorite candy was Reese's. So we had Reese's out the wazoo.
Dude, there's probably residue in the bed that he slept in.
Honestly, probably.
Because I mean, if you had an open bag,
went with it and like didn't say anything. And then when I got back, I texted him. I was like, "Dude, what the heck?"
He walked in the front door and it was just a minefield of peanut allergies.
Yeah. God is real if he lived.
Living life on the edge. He probably like went to work early and stayed late to like limit the amount of time he was at the house.
Limit his exposure.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Oh, okay. All right. I like it. All right. So we have Justin Jefferson 1, Cooper Kupp 2. We're all pretty aligned on that, I think. I mean, Cooper Kupp, his rankings for us range anywhere from 2 to 4, but he's actually tied with our number 3 guy, Jamar Chase. But Cooper Kupp ends up being second because there is less variance there. And that brings us to Jamar Chase, which this is where things, in my mind, get interesting because, Trent, you have him ranked 6th, which is the lowest of the rest of us. We all have him either 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. And it's not like 6 is like an insult for Jamar Chase, but do you have a reason why you knock him down considerably lower?
I don't even think he's the best receiver on his team. I think T. Higgins has more skill than he does. I really do.
T. Higgins has more.
There's a Joe Burrow LSU connection there with Jamar Chase, so he gets more targets. But I think T. Higgins is better than Jamar Chase.
So what about
Jamar Chase is a big play guy.
What about for fantasy?
He's not getting big plays, which he is because the Bengals offense, they get big plays. But if he's not doing a whole lot. And T. Higgins is the guy getting those 7-8 yard dish offs.
T. Higgins feels like a more well-rounded receiver than Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking here too. But I mean, it is Jamar Chase, so like I have him ahead of T. Higgins, but I just don't have him as high as you guys do for that reason.
That makes sense. You think that Chase probably has the most, I mean, outside of maybe, and we're going to get to these guys, actually the very next guy, but outside of the wide receiver duo in Miami, like Chase has the most high quality competition on his own team.
Oh, I don't think there's a close second place.
No.
I think Cincinnati's receiving core is the best in the league.
Maybe you could make the case for like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
I don't think he can.
I mean, it's not close, but
yeah,
I mean,
Devontae Smith is too small.
Man, I think
T. Higgins is like a get up and like get it, like throw it deep down the field. I mean,
I think Miami
Tyreek over Jamar Chase.
I think Miami needs to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
Like you could say you prefer Cincinnati, but you can't say it's not close with Hill and Waddle on the same team.
Hill's 29, almost 30.
These aren't dynasty though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice one, Austin.
So, Austin, you have Jamar Chase second, which is tied with Alex for the highest. So you probably disagree with Trent a little bit.
I do. I mean, I think the big play threat is probably the biggest reason why I had him at 2. and the quarterback situation. He's got a really good quarterback situation, and he does have an LSU connection with Joe Burrow. So, I mean, that's why I have him at 2. That's why I had him higher than Cooper Kupp. Maybe because of the quarterback, inconsistencies in LA with health and things like that. He's not totally off base as far as T. Higgins is concerned. Like, that's a very real thing, and T. Higgins' stock could go up, even though I thought it was going to go down last year. So it's not a bad take. I just
There's
think
room for both of them. So,
Jamar is just an insane talent to me, and that's why I had him at 2. So
let me ask you this, because, well, actually, let's get through the next 2 or 3 guys, and then I got a question for kind of these top guys that we'll get back to. But 4th on our list, we have Tyreek Hill, who we just mentioned. Rosie, you're highest on him. You've got him 2nd in your rankings. Trent, you're the lowest. You have him 8th. So Rosie, I want you to make the case first. What's the upside with Tyreek Hill? Why do you have him higher than the rest of us?
He has the best chance of scoring the most points.
Trent, to you.
Again, this isn't Dynasty, but I don't really listen to instructions. So this is Dynasty for me.
Yeah, Trent was
It's hard to remove the Dynasty filter out of your brain.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big contract.
I'm in 3 Dynasty leagues. I've been making trades all week, so just
shout out today.
Yeah, I'm hoping you pull another Austin and just have a terrible team and get a top overall pick that you traded. But we'll see.
It's a very real possibility. I'm not very good at this.
Yeah.
How do you feel that he just referred to that as another Austin?
I mean, statistically, look at my dynasty teams outside of the first year of the 8-8 league.
Hey, you got 3rd in bonus.
Yeah, do you remember the team that I drafted and then traded them all away? Yeah, that team was ridiculous.
You're the Michael Jordan of team ownership.
Yep. Call me Cuban. Tyson Chandler? Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But this was another, you could – Waddle might be better than Tyreek Hill. So I had to put them pretty close to each other.
Especially Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dynasty for sure.
Yeah, Dynasty for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
I think I have them 8 and 9 or something like that.
You do. Yeah, you got 8 and 9.
And I don't think that's – you might not like it, but it is what I think. So
that's not bad.
In my opinion, there's a clear top 5.
I think there's a clear top 10.
I would say –
I think within the top 10, you could kind of – besides one, of course, and there's no reason for that at all. But I think within the 10, you can kind of move them around a little bit.
I think so too. Looking at this list, I mean, there's a lot of just high octane, big play guys in the top 10 that any one of them, if they have an insane year, could be wide receiver 1 in fantasy. Maybe, or wide receiver 2. We'll say 2. Because Justin Jefferson's going to be 1. But
I mean, if you look at all of our rankings, what I just said tends to, it lines up.
Yeah.
Like the top 10 guys for everyone is in the top 10 for just about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I think you're right. And I think within that top 10, you've got Jefferson, number 1. And then to y'all's point, 2 through 9, there's going to be lots of variances depending on what you prefer in a wide receiver. Depending on how you value age versus situation or what have you.
Yeah, target share, things like that.
But anyone in that 2 through 9 could fall in any of those 9 slots when it's all said and done, when the year is over. And to me, I think, and I think it even goes beyond that top 10 as far as the intrigue, because I just think that's one of the most interesting things about the current state of wide receivers in the NFL is there are so many good wide receivers. It does not feel like it is a talent deficient position. It doesn't feel like tight end where you've got 5 guys that you feel really good about, and then everything else is just like throwing darts at a board.
Really good about, not even those 5 guys.
But you see what I mean? But when I made my top 32 rankings, there were so many guys outside the top 32 that I'm like, man, how can I find a way to sneak them in? But then I'm like, well, who am I, having fall out of the top 32 to make room for them? It just, I don't know. I think wide receiver is probably the deepest position of like the fantasy positions in the NFL.
No doubt.
Yeah. So we have Tyreek Hill 4. Then we've got Devontae Adams 5th. Trent, you're the highest on him. You have him as your wide receiver 2.
Yeah, he's really good.
For Dynasty?
No,
This
Just
is
dynasty
redraft.
when he wants it to be.
Well,
I
no,
actually,
but
I actually think this one was. Sorry, which wide receiver would I want on my team? Like,
Okay.
I don't even think I was thinking fantasy on this guy.
were you thinking at all?
Yeah, I was.
Trent, you begged for us to do fantasy.
You know, honestly, I made all these the chunk of my rankings like 3 weeks ago. So
I
I'm
might have
just
like gut.
re-looking at all these. I'm sorry I don't do them 5 minutes before we hop on.
Procrastinators do it
I
right the
don't,
first time.
Devontae Adams this year is the second best receiver in the league.
You know, I don't hate it. I mean, I had him 5th in my rankings, but if you look at what he's done from a fantasy standpoint, so 2019, he was hurt. He only played 12 games. But if you look at just kind of his last 5 seasons, excluding the 2019 season where he was wide receiver 23 in PPR, last year he was wide receiver 3. Year before that, wide receiver 2. Year before that, wide receiver 1. And then 2018, he was wide receiver 3. So you've got basically a 5-year sample size of, hey, when he plays at least 14 games, he's a top 3 option with a chance of being number 1 in fantasy. So, I mean, I don't hate the number 2 slot. I think it's just, I don't know. I think some of my reservation is, 1, the fact that he's 30, and 2, what is the production going to look like with Garoppolo?
Yeah, Jimmy G. That's why I have him at 7.
He had Derek Carr last year. Not much better.
Yeah, but you talked about the whole Burrow Chase college connection. I mean,
College
some of that
connection
with Carr and Devontae Adams too, back in their Fresno State days. But
Yeah, I think it's just the Raiders for me. You know, we were all stupid high on him last year. And
even
I think
last year
just-
he was wide receiver 3.
I know. I think I'm just a little leery with the Jimmy G. I think
They're
that's
picking
really
first overall next year.
my main concern.
No, they're not. You
Baker
think so?
Mayfield is currently going to lead the Buccaneers out.
The Cardinals.
Bucks actually
The
have
Cardinals.
Cardinals are
some
picking
good
number 1 next year.
players.
Wow, it'll be the Bucks.
Right. I don't think there's anyone on the Raiders that's good.
Kyle
other than
Trask.
Devontae
I wish they would
Adams
ride with Kyle Trask instead of Baker.
and Max Crosby. That's it.
Josh Jacobs.
No. I mean, he's fine. But, I mean, what's a running game going to do when you don't have an offensive line?
Jimmy
I'd be
G's gonna-
shocked if the Raiders had the number 1 overall pick next year. Absolutely
Market.
shocked.
I don't think they're bad enough. Now, hey, if Josh Jacobs holds out, you know,
Yeah.
you might look at that.
All right, next on our list. So we had Devontae Adams 5. We've got CeeDee Lamb 6, which I look at it and most of us are pretty much aligned except Rosie. You've got him 11th,
My dog. What are you doing?
which you said on this podcast like 10 minutes ago that you think there's a clear top 10 and you have CeeDee Lamb outside of your top 10. So,
So who does he
No, I
have?
said there's a clear top 5.
oh, that's true. Okay. You're right.
Don't put words in his mouth.
I apologize. So you have him 11th though. So talk to me about that.
He's a good, not great player, and I'm just a little bit worried about the Cowboys' offense and how they will perform with McCarthy as the de facto coordinator. And I think they're probably going to try to run the ball more. And with Michael Gallup healthy, with them bringing in Brandon Cooks, even Schoonmaker, I think that there will be more competition
There'll
for
be
his
less
targets.
coverage.
He won't be the only guy.
Less coverage.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's fine. I probably won't be taking him in any of my fantasy leagues, though.
Man,
Disagree.
yeah.
He's
I
not
don't know.
Jesus like you guys think he is.
What's that?
You and I have
He's not Jesus like you guys think.
No,
he is.
you and I
had
you
him
have
ranked
you and I both
6th.
have him ranked 5.
I have him ranked
Okay.
6th and you have him 5th, Trent. So like, Obviously, you're higher on him than Rosie is.
Like I said, top 10 could go either way. He's got him 11, so for all you know, I actually have him 10th. I just wrote 5.
Got him.
Depending on which ranking system he was feeling when he got to
Yeah.
CD, you know.
Yeah.
Trent is just destroying the credibility of these rankings just one podcast at a time.
Hey, but if you look at like the consensus, it's not a bad list. But that'll be for the end.
Yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb showed you last year what he can do whenever he's the guy. And I honestly think another year removed from the injury for Michael Gallup and having Brandon Cooks only helps him because the defense can't sell out to stop CeeDee Lamb. Because he was the only guy on that Cowboys receiving core that could get any separation, was productive, was efficient. I mean, all the metrics, it was like CeeDee Lamb way up here, and then everyone else was like a net negative. And I think having more competent wide receivers only helps you if you're CeeDee Lamb. And maybe you pass a little less with McCarthy versus Kellen Moore, but I think he's going to have a much easier time getting the football than he did last year when he was a wide receiver 5.
If you're projecting that the offense is going to be more efficient because they're bringing in Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup will be healthy, then yeah, I think that's a good argument. I just don't know if they are going to be more efficient, and I think they're going to be less efficient. So less efficient, less targets, less touchdowns. I don't think he'll do what he did last year, but I still think he'll be good. Just not. I want guys on my fantasy team that have a chance to be the number 1 overall wide receiver, and I don't think that CD has that. Especially when I'm
number
taking them
1,
in the
like
top
including surpassing Jefferson?
10. Yeah, just to have the chance,
On a week-to-week basis or just when the season's all said and done?
when the season's all said and done.
Okay. To me, I think that list of guys is outside of Jefferson, 2, maybe 3 players. I think it's Chase and I think it's Kupp. And if you wanted to make a case for Tyreek Hill, you could. I don't think I would. I think it's Kupp and I think it's Chase, and I think that's it.
Might take Devontae in that list.
I don't know if I would at this point.
Over the past couple of seasons.
Didn't Tyreek finish 1 last year?
Did he?
2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Tyreek 2, I would say.
Okay. All right, next up, coming in 7 in our rankings, we have A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles. Trent is the highest. He has him 3rd.
Yeah, I'm done hating on AJ Brown.
I respect
for
that.
5 years.
He's come around.
Yeah,
when he comes around, he comes
I'm
around.
coming to him. I don't have any like fancy statistics like you guys have on why I have him 3rd versus you guys what are 7 through 10. Just that I was like, I mean, he's the only option in Tennessee, and Ryan Tannehill's not bad. And then I was like, when he went to Philly, I was sorry, everyone was hating on that trade, and I was like, why? Like Tennessee got rid of a bum. And then he showed up,
Woof.
and I don't know what he was. I know he was for sure top 5 wide receiver last year. I think, right?
He was 6th in PPR, 4th in standard.
Yeah, and so I was just like, I'm done. I'm putting him top 3. I don't care if you hate it.
I'm proud of you, Trent. People do change.
I mean, you could say the same thing about my Devontae Adams take.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't.
It was bad, though.
I don't hate him at 3. I have him lower, but I mean that's not bad to me.
Man,
If you're gonna put like Waddle at 3, I'd have a problem with that. But the playmaker like AJ Brown, yeah.
So, like, I'm looking at my rankings. Guys that I have ranked ahead of A.J. Brown, because I have him 10th. So I've got the 3 next guys we're going to mention. Jalen Waddle, Stephon Diggs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think I feel the best about... Like, I know what I'm going to get from those offenses next year. And I've been on this for a while. I don't think it's a safe assumption to assume the Eagles are just as dominant as offense as they were last year, when that was the first year that we had ever seen that kind of production from Jalen Hurts. And then they lose their offensive coordinator. And I don't know, man. A year ago, there was talk of, the Eagles trading. The Eagles tried to trade for Russell Wilson, and he said no last offseason. And then they have a season where everything breaks right. And I just don't know if, last year was a career year for A.J. Brown. He had never been as productive from a fantasy standpoint as he had last year. And I have a hard time believing he's going to repeat it.
Well, didn't he stayed healthy last year, right? Comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of hobbled, but he did play all 17 games.
Yeah,
and I think that's the only thing stopping AJ Brown is his injury history.
Mm-hmm. But he did play complete season, which he hadn't before. So
first time since his rookie year.
Yeah, props to him. So
I think when you're as physically dominant as AJ Brown is, I'm not sure it matters how good your quarterback is playing.
Yeah, I mean, he just muscles balls.
Yeah. And I don't think Hurts is going to be so bad that it's going to really hurt AJ Brown.
We'll see. I'm probably just being an Eagles hater, and I recognize that. Next up, 8th on our list, we have Jalen Waddle, and I don't think we need to really spend a lot of time here. We all have him ranked anywhere from 6 to 11, so it's nice average here.
Yeah.
Next
Waddle's
up,
so good. I love him so much. He's my favorite player.
I've tried to trade for him in every league that I'm in, and everyone in each person in each league that has him, they know how good he is and because he's one of those players that he's just fun to have on your team because he's just a highlight reel every single week. And those are I know it's simple, but those are the kind of players I like having on my fantasy teams. And so I keep trying to trade for him, and I haven't been successful.
He was probably one of my biggest hits last year. I got him everywhere.
You were early on him. I remember that. So we have him 8. We have Trent's probably favorite wide receiver outside of Odell Beckham. Stephon Diggs comes in 9th on our ranking. Really not a ton of disagreement, though. We all have him ranked 8, 9. Trent has him 11.
Yeah, shame on you guys for putting him in the top 10. Shame on you.
Well, Trent, he's been a top 10 receiver.
I don't care what he's been.
There's a little bias.
He's a couch potato, dancing with a bunch of Jewish people.
What?
There's a video circulating him at a Jewish church or something, just going ham, and it's kind of hilarious.
Okay, I think context was needed there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's not at camp, is basically what I'm saying. And that's not fun.
I thought I was seeing reports that the initial reports were way overblown about that, and he's going to be back and it's going to be fine.
Well, maybe not. You never know. That's what they said.
Since he's been in Buffalo, he was wide receiver 4, wide receiver 7, and wide receiver 3.
Yeah, now he's going to be wide receiver 11.
Making the call?
Yeah, there's just the pattern there. Can you not see it?
Can I wreck the soundbite again?
3, 7, 4. So he will be a wide receiver 8 this year, going off the pattern.
No, 11. The pattern's not yet complete until after this year.
All right, next up, this is one that I'm excited to talk about. Rounding out the top 10, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, which all of us have him ranked anywhere from 7 to 10. But bringing down his average, Rosie, our Lions fan, has Amon-Ra ranked 15th. 5 spots lower than the average.
This is the most shocking thing on this list to me.
It's fantasy.
This is fantasy, but
Right,
when I was
checking.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
What are we're talking about tight ends, right?
Oh
I think this is probably the one player I'd probably move him up to 12. If I could defend this for a second,
you can't.
I want to see what Jamison Williams looks in this offense. I know.
Out on J-Mo.
You can be out on him. I understand, but the
I
talent.
just can't believe you're betting on that guy.
Vegas is all in on him.
Man, I can't wait for all the betting jokes. I just think that the hype has gotten too far on Amon-Ra. As someone who loved him coming out of the draft, I loved him. I knew he was going to be great. He's not Antonio Brown, as a lot of people are comping him to.
Yeah, CTE is not.
Thank
to that
goodness.
level.
Yeah, but I mean, talent-wise, he's not there. Yeah, I
Well,
don't
this
think
is
he's as
fantasy,
fast.
not talent.
Or felony. Now, if we're
Who,
ranking
Well,
who else is
felonies,
going to catch footballs
felonies,
in Detroit?
Yeah, but more talented players get the ball more.
Jameer
So,
Gibbs is going to catch footballs. in
I
Detroit.
do think that there will be a lot more competition than last year because it was just Amon.
That's what we thought a year ago, man.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, he had
that's
his
exactly
break.
why I sold
He had
him.
his breakout season 2 years ago, and everyone's like, "Well, he surely can't replicate that the following year. That was just a flash in the pan." And then he was dominant again.
You told
Yeah,
me to
I mean,
sell
everyone
him
else
before
said that,
last
but I
year. You told me to sell him. I have the text messages.
I actually traded
When?
him in Dynasty to Trent like a week ago.
Before it was the pass around Amon-Ra week that we had before the season started.
Oh
last
no,
year.
I wanted him. Yeah, no, I thought you
told-
sold him for too cheap, but I think the same kind of conversation with CD is he's good, not great. He will put up fantasy points for sure, but
Good thing this is
now they
fantasy
have Sam
rankings.
Laporta. Now they have Jameson Williams. Now they have
Well, they'll
Gibbs.
have
I think
Jameson
they're
Williams in week 7.
They'll have
Yes,
Jameson-
but they
James
will
for like
still
50
have him in the season. My point still stands, and so it's just
playing
I probably would have
55%.
him at like 12.
Didn't they
Yeah.
have? So how many games did Jameson Williams play last year?
You don't have him at 12.
He played.
I would
Why didn't
He
you?
played 6 games.
because I didn't want to fix everything.
Jameson Williams played 6 games last year, and
What are his stats?
oh, I'm glad you asked. Let's see. He had
two
9
Ps right there.
targets in 6 games, and he had 1 reception.
Okay, look at his snap percentage. I think it's all below 15. He wasn't on the field at all. They wanted to ease him in.
Are you trying to
But
make
when
a
he
case
was
for
on
him?
the
If you wanted to
field,
hype
he
up
was
Jameson
extremely good.
Williams, you could say that he has a 100% touchdown rate on his catches. So if he gets, 60 receptions, he's going to have 60 touchdowns and shatter all the records.
Yeah, but I mean, like when he was on the field, he was extremely good, extremely good.
Yeah, 1 for 9, good.
Yeah, he was James Harden in Game 6 of the playoffs.
But hey, he got touchdowns on 11% of his catches. Woo.
I just think
I'm not sure he's going to play a snap this year.
What?
How long is gambling rehab? Andrew, can you look that up?
Hold on, let me text Alex.
Jeez, dude, don't do that guy
The
like
dude
that.
got bodied. Not
Oh,
even
man, he's not even here to defend himself.
He can't kick sick people while they're down.
I'm just kidding, Alex. Well, part of that was because he sent the thing from Bovada, like, what was that, a few days ago?
No, it wasn't Bovada. It was someone else.
No, it was Bovada.
Yeah,
Was
it
it?
was.
Yeah.
it was.
Sweet. That's what I use. Bovada was going to be the first platform to have Special
Oh.
Olympics gambling.
Yeah. And Alex sent that in the group. And then wasn't it Alex a couple years ago where he was like, man, I'm sitting here watching Little League World Series. I'm like, man, why can't I bet on this?
Yeah, that was last year.
Supposedly him and Jameson Williams are good friends. But so we've got Amon-Ra 10th. T. Higgins, we have 11th. Not a
How
ton of
close did you put him
disagreement
to
there.
Chase?
What's that?
How close did he put him to Chase?
Me?
Who? Trent?
Trent. Yeah, Trent. Okay, 10.
6 and 10.
6 and yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I put them at 6 and 10,
Yeah.
and Waddle and Hill 8 and 9.
That's good. You're consistent. I'll give you that.
Yeah. 12, we've got Garrett Wilson. And Rosie, you're higher on him than the rest of us. You've got him ranked 8th. I mean, I got him. I have him a little bit lower because I have him 15th on my board.
Heyo.
What?
I had him 15th too.
Oh. To me, it's just like
Awesome.
it's the uncertainty with Rodgers. Like the Jets are bringing in all of Rodgers' guys.
What do you mean uncertainty with Rodgers? You know exactly what you're getting with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you do and you don't because like you saw some resurgence, or you saw some not even resurgence. You just saw some surgence from Christian Watson last year.
Oh, young
And,
wide receiver.
it was pretty streaky to start the year. But we know that Rodgers tends to favor his guys versus like some of the more talented players. And they're bringing in Randall Cobb. They're bringing in Alan Lazard. How do we know that those guys aren't going to be stealing targets from Garrett
Because they
Wilson?
didn't get any targets this year.
Garrett Wilson is better than Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, yes and no. I'm
Way
with you,
better.
Andrew. I'm not sold on Garrett Wilson. I think if you have him in fantasy, you sell him. I'm selling Garrett
Do
Wilson.
y'all have him?
I don't.
I did, and then we reset the league. That was my fault.
I think Garrett Wilson
It
is
was
one of
completely your fault. I'll give you that.
the. You were championing it.
Trent was like Varys. He was just like moving in the shadows, just
Trent championed a lot of things that
master
week.
of whisperers.
I don't even know if I was moving in the shadows. I was pretty vocal about it.
No, it was on
Yeah,
the
you're more
front
like
line.
Littlefinger. Everyone knew what you were doing
Yeah,
Yep.
with your schemes and your plots.
I'm pretty good at that.
Side note, go
I'm
listen
4
to
years in a
Making
row
the
and
Call.
reset in the fantasy league.
So, Rosie, why are you so high on Garrett Wilson?
I think Garrett Wilson's one of the most sure wide receivers in the
Ooh,
NFL right now.
Talk about
Ooh.
polarizing.
I am completely confident that he will be really, really good.
No,
He
you
moves
need
different.
to put a definition on that. You can't speak.
Top 10.
Okay.
I could see that.
I mean, I can
I-
see a world where he's top 10. I just don't know.
Even if Aaron Rodgers does what he did last year, I think that Garrett Wilson will easily be a top 10 wide receiver.
What did Christian Watson end last year?
22.
You want to know where Garrett Wilson ended last year?
No.
Christian Watson.
35.
No, I know. You want to know where Garrett Wilson ended last year? 21.
Yeah, and that's
And-
with poop.
So it was Zach
Playing at
Wilson, Mike
quarterback.
White, and Joe Flacco.
Yes, but who else was catching passes?
Not Elijah Moore.
No.
No one was. It was like the ghost of Corey Davis, and that's it.
So you're telling me that this offense was so horrendous. They didn't have a running game. They didn't have anything except for Garrett Wilson. And as a rookie, he finished as wide receiver 22, and now he's getting Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to be a better offense. I'm all aboard Garrett Wilson.
2-2, baby.
But to me, Rosie, this is the exact reason why, like, to me, I think the reason I'm lower on Garrett Wilson than you are is the reason why you're lower on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, I'm saying that there's going to be more mouths to feed in that offense. And Aaron Rodgers has been known to show favoritism towards his guys that I don't think Garrett Wilson's going to have the same target share that he had last year.
Yeah,
I mean, he'll
but
have his
with-
guys in his own. I mean, he was with that organization forever. Randall Cobb was with that organization for forever.
Yeah, but he's like 35, and
But
Alan
Lazard's a good
Lazard is
player.
not that good. He's
Lazard's
fine.
Lazard is a good player.
When you're comparing Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, I think Jameson Williams has a chance to be better than Amon-Ra, like right off the bat.
I don't know about that.
I love Amon-Ra, but Jameson
I
Williams
don't think you
was
do,
drafted
man.
in the first round.
I'm not gonna
I
go
do.
that-
I do. I promise.
I'm not going that far.
He's really, really good. Having two stud wide receivers on the team is fantastic. I love it. But
Well, you
I
haven't had a
think
stud yet. You might be.
Garrett
dude.
Wilson and Alan Lazard don't even compare in terms of talent. Not at all. So there's no argument here for
Well, they're
him
both
bringing
in
in
the
Alan
NFL.
Lazard.
Boom, compared.
You shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm on this podcast. To be honest with you, I'm just ruining everything.
I'm glad you're here. You're wearing a Rangers hoodie.
I love that you're
very,
here.
I'm very proud.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees out. I'm in a hoodie.
Trent wrecked the rankings 30 seconds into the
Trent's actually
podcast.
been like
That's-
live. He's been live texting in our group text about the Rangers, which
has
he like crucified Austin and I for doing that to start the year.
So much so that Andrew and I text every day now
Yeah.
because we can't text in the making the call chat.
There's nothing else to watch. That's obnoxious.
And
Sucks.
the Rangers are good.
Side note, 2-0 at the end of the third. What?
Yeah.
Josh Young having a heck of a game so far.
Up in the
Spoiler
3-hole.
alert.
All right, 13th on our rankings. Chris Olave, another sophomore player in the
in the
NFL,
3-hole.
but not a lot of disagreement here, so I think we can keep it moving. 14th, we have DK Metcalf, which Alex is our Seahawks fan. He couldn't be on tonight, but he
What a
is
homer.
highest on DK. He's got him ranked 11th,
What a
so not
homer.
a terribly higher. I mean, everyone else is 13th, 15th, 16th, 17th, but he texted me kind of his explanation, and he just thinks that they drafted Smith and Jigba, and that's just going to open up the field for DK. Like, the defense can't sell out for DK Metcalf, even with, Tyler Lockett being a year older.
They were never doing that.
What's that?
They were never selling out for DK Metcalf ever in his entire career.
You don't think so?
It's run first offense now.
Yeah.
Run first offense, Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
didn't have to cover DK.
Lockett
Well,
finished
they
better
had,
than
they had
DK
to cover
last year.
DK. They didn't have to double him.
let me ask you this, so he has him, 11? So this would even be a little bit higher than that. I mean, would it surprise you if DK Metcalf was a top 10 guy? by the end of-
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
It's like, can Gino repeat? That's another question mark.
I mean, there's a crap ton of question marks with the Seahawks pass catchers. Like, are they going to run the
Seahawks
ball
could
more?
win the Super Bowl. They could have a top 5 pick. Who knows?
That's so true.
It just depends on
I
who
might
shows
go
up
out
on
on a limb and
Sundays.
say
man.
I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl.
Why not?
Kenneth Walker
I
goes
think they
nuts.
could.
They have
And-
enough. And on paper, they have enough weapons.
The
It's just,
Giants
can they put it
with
all
Eli
together?
Manning won the Super Bowl twice. I
That
think
was
the
defense.
Seahawks
With
are
a-
possible.
That was
Fantastic
defense.
defense.
Yeah, you can thank Strahan and nine finger guy Pierre Paul for that.
Yeah.
Seahawks don't have a defense.
He was trying to get the
Everything else is
Spider-Man,
pretty
but he
good.
missed. That's what he did.
Yeah, So we have DK 14th, 15th on our list. We've got Amari Cooper. Not a lot of disagreement here. So then let's go down to Debo, which Debo I want to spend some time on. We have him 16th, and Rosie and I are very low on him, and Austin and Alex are very high. So I've got him 20th. Rosie's
And Trent.
21. Oh, and Trent.
Hey, leave me out of this.
I don't want to
Okay.
be in on this.
Austin and Alex have him 13th, and Trent has him 14th.
I think
me-
he's an athlete.
He's the best
why
athlete on that
I,
team.
I put him top 15 because he's an athlete.
Yep.
Hey, what did he finish last year, Andrew?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Rosie. He was wide receiver 40.
I think he's high ceiling, low floor.
Yep.
So this was a question I wanted to hit at the end, but let's hit this one now because I think it's Deebo Samuel. But what player has the most boomer bust potential?
On the
And
49ers?
if it's not Deebo Samuel, then who?
For
On the-
wide receivers,
For wide
Darius
receivers.
Tony.
That's
That's what I would say.
That's a good pick.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tony, Jordan Addison.
DJ Moore, maybe.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're just going to catch like 3 passes because they're
Okay,
going to throw
no,
the ball 5 times all year.
All right. we mentioned a few. So if you
Or
had
Mike
to nail
Evans.
down one, who are you going with?
Mike Evans.
Biggest boomer bust potential.
If you're making the argument for Debo, I am totally on board with that. I think that he is really good, gets really hurt really easily, and I think Ayuk might be better than him.
Okay, so I'm saying Deebo. You're saying Deebo too, Rosie?
Yeah, I mean, I would rather go with Tony, but
I'm going Tony. I'll go Tony for you. 'cause
If
I
I don't
think
want,
that's a great
if
pick.
I don't want to think about it, can I just go Debo?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because I look at our rankings,
I kind of like Jahan Dotson in that pick, though.
but what's his boom? Top
I don't
20?
know.
A touchdown every week.
Better than Terry McLaurin.
Like,
What is that?
He had like 7 touchdowns in 9 weeks or something. I swear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but over the course of the season, like Jahan Dotson
Yeah,
is
no,
not going to
Jahan
be a top
Dotson
5
isn't gonna be-
guy in
he's not going to be top
2023.
10.
You don't know that.
No
You're not
chance.
God.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
I
but
think
I do
he
know
is.
that.
If he is, you owe me $10. If he
What
isn't,
about-
I'll give you $1.
What about Jerry Judy?
So 10 to 1 odds on this?
Sure. You don't have to. You can think about it. Pray about it.
Let me pray about it. I'll get back to you.
Pray about a bet, guys. That's a great look. Yeah. Hey, it's not the worst thing Baptists have done this week, so
All right, moving on.
You think Jerry Jeudy a good pick for Boomer Bust?
No, because he hasn't done it yet.
Well, I don't think he's a better pick than Debo because
No, he's not a better pick than Debo,
like
but I think
Rosie and
he's
I are
another.
lower on Debo because we're probably going off of what he did last year where he was wide receiver 40.
Jerry Jeudy could
and
be top 8, I think.
You both are higher on Debo, and you're probably thinking, well, if he can get back to what he was 2 years ago when he was a wide receiver 3 and you were basically getting a wide receiver and a running back at the same position. But my concern with him is he got his big contract. He said he wanted to get paid like he was a wide receiver and running back. He gets his contract. He says, actually, I don't want to have all those carries. I want to have a prolonged career. And they stopped using him in the running game.
And he's still not going to have a prolonged career.
Are you suggesting that when you give players the big money, they go down in production?
Sometimes.
I've never seen that before.
Not all the times, but a lot of the time, yeah. So I don't know. I even considered putting him lower on my rankings.
Ooh. I still think he's the best weapon in that offense.
Over McCaffrey?
Oh, wait.
Over Kittle?
Second best weapon in the offense. I think he's a better athlete than Kittle.
Over
Like,
Jujic?
Jawan Jennings?
No, keep trying.
Oh, yeah. Jujic.
I call him Juice Stick.
His first name.
I don't know his name.
What is it? Kyle Juszczyk?
His name is Kyle.
Yeah.
Juszczyk.
Over Kyle.
See, we all gave different pronunciations.
Anyone was better than Juice Stick, though, so.
Come on,
Juszczyk might be
Kyle.
my favorite.
Yeah.
17 on our list, we have Devontae Smith. Not a lot of disagreement there. We have Jerry Jeudy, 18. We have Terry McLaurin coming in at 19. And I've got him 17th. Rosie, you have him 29th.
Oh, good Lord.
He's not that good. Like, can we stop it with Terry McLaurin? Like, he hasn't done it.
Scary Terry.
He hasn't done it, and Jahan Dotson might be better on that team now.
I do agree that Jahan Dotson
He's been higher than wide receiver. He was wide receiver 29 his rookie year. Since then, wide receiver 20, wide receiver 25, and then he was wide receiver 14 last year.
Yeah, but like he's been in the 20s for most of his career, and now with
Sam
Sam Howell. I like Sam
No,
Howell.
no. You cannot use the quarterback.
This is a fantasy discussion.
Yes, but Terry McLaurin is the one guy who it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Yeah, and he's always going to be mid. I don't want that on my team.
Who did he have as quarterback last year? Carson Wentz and then Sam Howell, and he was wide receiver 14. And that was with Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, and I think that Jahan Dotson might be better than him. Like projecting to next year, he could easily be in the 20s again.
Whoa,
Easily.
easy. This isn't Dynasty. Easy.
Yeah.
Do you
Bring it
know?
back in a little bit here,
It's
buddy.
like, do you know that? Do you know?
What?
I don't know. I don't see a world where he is outside of the top 20, 22 if he's healthy.
And if I'm drafting in fantasy, that's not someone that I want on my team for redraft.
I'd take him over Michael Pittman.
I would too. Maybe.
Yeah, where do you have Pittman ranked?
Yeah, I definitely would. I have Pittman 35.
Oh, geez.
So you would take, I'm trying to find some guys you have ranked higher.
Jahan Dotson.
Calvin Ridley over Terry McLaurin?
DJ Moore.
Easily. Yeah. Much rather have Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley is
Keenan
a
Allen?
much better player. Yeah.
You wanna
Keenan
talk-
Allen, he's done it way more than Terry McLaurin has.
You want to talk about the moderator
also-
of Gamblers Anonymous?
He tore his he tore his hamstring, and Brian Robinson got shot and returned to the field before Keenan Allen did. Like Keenan Allen gets hurt, and he just like stays hurt. He doesn't come back.
He's been healthy for most of his career at this point.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. He had a pretty nice stretch of being healthy.
Read the games.
2015, 2016, he was not healthy at all. And then last year he wasn't healthy. But to me, that speaks to the fact that he's 31 and most wide receivers when they turn 30.
Hold up, he's 31.
He's 31.
Jeez, I thought he was younger than that.
Last year was his age 30 season, and he played 10 games.
I mean, it's just, would you rather have Justin Herbert or Sam Howell?
Again,
Oh no.
save that for our quarterback rankings next week.
Jeez.
Someone's having Sam Howell real high.
I've already been doing my homework, so I'm ready.
You got some stats to back him up.
Hey, which method are we doing next week? Dynasty, redraft, straight up, or
Grab bag.
The quarterback you want to take on a fishing trip.
Josh Allen.
No.
I think Patrick Mahomes would be fun on a fishing trip.
No, he'd be obnoxious because his wife would be calling him.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's right. Patrick, your brother's in jail again.
If you wanted a fishing trip where you could just have peace and quiet, it's Justin Herbert. Dude wouldn't say a word.
Yeah, he'd be pretty cool. Derek Carr, I don't think would be bad.
That's a good
pick.
He'd show up prepared too. Like he'd have his own.
The overall worst pick, like one of one, would be Russell Wilson.
Yeah. It'd be so awkward. Kirk.
Dude, that cast that was unlimited. That was unlimited, man. I'm gonna just pull in the most unlimited fish ever. Just watch this, man.
Let's ride.
He would probably, you know what he would do? You would have to stand. You would have to sit on the other side of the boat, and every time he casts the rod, you would have to throw the football to him, and he'd have to catch it, like that workout video. He just like
cast. He'd be doing high knees in the boat.
Just tipping the boat.
Scaring away all the fish.
The little waves. They're attracted to it. The ripples.
I feel like Kirk Cousins would bring the dad energy. Like he'd be the one that showed up in the bucket hat and the fishing vest.
Oh, absolutely.
And he would know like all the good spots.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have a fish finder. He would just take a red Solo cup and just hold it down to the water. Be like, yeah, they're over here. That's a good segment idea. Best quarterbacks to go on a fishing trip with. I think there's some meat on that bone. But all right. Let's do our top 20. We got one more player, and then we'll do the ad read. Talk about liquid IV. So we've got DJ Moore rounding out the top 20, and rankings are all over the place. Austin and Alex have him ranked 18. I've got him ranked 22nd. Rosie's got him 26th, and Trent has him 28th. And to me, this is just representative of how do you feel about Justin Fields?
Yep.
Because the guys on this podcast who are high on Justin Fields have DJ Moore ranked higher, and the guys Trent and Rosie who are lower on Justin Fields have him ranked lower.
Inject anything else into my veins.
Not entirely true.
Yeah, I like Justin Fields as a fantasy player because he runs. He just doesn't throw the ball very well.
He hasn't had a weapon, but okay.
Hasn't thrown the ball well yet.
I need to see it. First.
DJ Moore career.
Trent would say hasn't thrown the ball, period.
Trent's going to make this not even a Justin Fields conversation. Get ready.
Yeah. DJ Moore. 2018, 39th. 19, 16th. All right, that's cool. 23rd, 18, 24. And now he's going to Justin Fields. It's his worst quarterback he's ever had.
Baker was really bad, Trent. Come
on. But counterpoint, you have him ranked 28th, and he hasn't been that low since the rookie season.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's also not had to, like his rookie season. He had Cam Newton throwing it to him. Maybe.
Yeah, but he was well.
I don't know the 2018.
Who's a better quarterback, Cam Newton or Justin Fields?
Oh, Cam Newton, 100%. Prime Cam Newton, top 5 all time.
Running back.
Whoa, maybe not.
Easy.
But Cam Newton, prime Cam Newton before his shoulder injury was a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, Rangers 3-0.
He was. But you could also say DJ Moore had his best production with Kyle Allen and Sam Darnold.
Former Aggie.
And
who are all better throwers than Justin Fields.
Kyle Allen was a terrible quarterback.
I I don't know.
DJ Moore is just mid, just like Terry McLaurin.
No, he's
Let's be
worse than
honest.
Scary Terry. He's scary more. He's more scary.
He's more scary. That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, that's our top 20. We've got 12 more guys to rank for our top 32. But before we do, we got to tell you about our good friends at Liquid IV. Liquid IV is just the best. It's summertime. I've mentioned it. You've got to stay hydrated out there. Texas is currently preheating. It was almost
index
triple
was
digits here in the
116.
Metroplex. It's going to get up next Sunday in DFW. It's going to get up to 104. It's going to be nice and toasty. And if you're outside at all, you know how hot that is and how quickly you can sweat and get dehydrated. So you need to stay on top of your hydration game. And the best way to do that is with Liquid IV. Liquid IV hydrates you twice as fast as water alone. It has 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. Go try Liquid IV today and get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MTC at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MTC at liquidiv.com. All right, number 21 on our rankings, Drake London. This was a surprise for me because our rankings are all over the place for him, and I expected kind of more consistency with Drake London as a player. I've got him ranked 18th. Rosie has him ranked 12th. Austin has him 25th. Alex 26th. Trent 35. So we've got what
This
is
is a
that?
wide range.
23 slot range on Drake London.
This is for
So-
fantasy, right?
Yeah.
He plays for a team with Bijan Robinson and a quarterback that may or may not know how to throw a football. He's not going to – I mean, it's going to be – no.
But he's the only guy there.
I mean, they're Kyle Pitts. You can't say that.
I did that on purpose.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of hype with him, but they don't pass. I mean,
They don't pass.
I
Yet.
think
Yes.
they're going to pass
There we
more
go.
than they did.
yeah, they're going to pass more. They only passed 14 times last year. or something.
Marcus Mariota is not the epitome of it.
He's better. He's a better passer than
don't
Desmond
know that.
Ritter.
Not enough sample size.
No,
I
that's
don't
not
think so.
Even last year, Desmond Ritter was way better than him. And Desmond Ritter was a third-round rookie.
You were a third-round rookie.
Oh, dude, really? Where's my money?
Come to bring me my money.
Oh, I was gambling with JMO.
J-Mo and freaking what's his face? Calvin
So
Ridley.
so your thing on Drake London, if he was in a better situation, so it's not a reflection of talent.
Hey, I
It's
traded
just
it for
you don't like
Devontae
his
Adams.
situation.
Yeah, I don't like his situation, and I haven't seen talent. I don't watch West Coast football. It was the last time he was good at USC. So
Trent, would you trade Drake London and Chris Olave for like Devontae Adams and Nick Chubb then?
this year, yeah,
What about last year?
yeah.
Okay.
Gosh.
Wow.
Dynasty, no.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm never trading two guys that are 28 or two guys that are 28 with
Trent,
two wide receivers that are that good.
Trent told me that the trade wasn't that bad, but I think I know.
It's not that bad. I mean,
It's pretty horrendous.
the
I
trade
don't
from
think
last
so.
year.
Yes,
the
that's the one I
trade.
just,
Yeah.
that's what I just quoted.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that bad. He was going for the win.
Yeah, and I got third.
Hey, money's money.
It's true. Yeah, so I don't know. I was surprised to see such variance on Drake London because
I think it's touchdowns. I think that's
That's what it's going to come down to. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
And I just don't see him taking those red zone targets.
He took him last year when he was healthy.
I know, but like Kyle Pitts, right? Right?
So what
I hope
season?
so, man.
What season are we on, Kyle Pitts? Is it third?
3.
yeah. I actually just traded him in a dynasty league.
To some extent, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if like Desmond Ritter pans out as a quarterback and how that affects him. But like, year 3 of Kyle Pitts, and we still haven't seen what we thought we were getting. Like, I think Drake London shows more promise, honestly, than Kyle Pitts does in that offense.
True.
I think honestly, and Trent, you already hit on this, and we might disagree on our evaluation of this player, but I think with any of these Falcons pass catchers, so really just London and Pitts, it's what do you think of Desmond Ridder? And if you don't feel good about him, then are you assuming, and this is more of a dynasty conversation, are you assuming that there's a different quarterback there next year? Because I think both of them are good talents. I would hope we can agree on that. And it's just, you look at Arthur Smith and the offense he ran in Tennessee, and you're like, well, if we can get a Ryan Tannehill type performance from Ridder, then the sky's the limit for Pitts and London.
Yeah, I don't think the Falcons are bad enough to go low and get a quarterback next year.
I mean, they could. They just took a running back top 10, so I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah.
With
Did y'all see that after, now that the Vikings cut Dalvin Cook, that Bijan Robinson is the highest paid running back in the league?
He's going to earn it.
That's the state of the running back position in the
nuts.
NFL in 2023. It's just crazy.
Because Josh Jacobs hasn't gotten paid yet.
All right, number 22 on our list, Calvin Ridley. And Trent's lowest by far. He's got him ranked 33rd. The rest of us are like 21 to 24.
I get it. He hasn't played football in over a year.
Yeah, I don't know how you rank this guy.
I don't know how you do either. I mean,
so I just I left him just outside of our. We were supposed to rank 32, so I left him just outside because I had no idea how to rank him.
It's not your worst take.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's fair.
It's not.
I think my thing with Calvin Ridley is that
he's 28 now, coming back.
I think he's going to be 27. No, 28. You're right. Yeah, 28.
Which
he's
is
a young
phenomenal
28
when he had
though.
Matt Ryan throwing to him. But that's how long ago he played. He had Matt Ryan throwing to
How
him.
Calvin Ridley is going to do is how Henry Ruggs is going to do when he comes back. So,
Very different players.
just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't think Henry Ruggs is getting out.
Oh, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Longest yard fantasy. Can we bet on that?
I have him on my team.
You cut him. I thought you cut
I
him.
did cut him?
Yeah, I think you did cut him.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe I did.
man. Yeah, I agree with you, Trent. I think Ridley's a really hard player to rank because he's probably doesn't qualify for our boomer bust conversation earlier because I don't really see a world where he's like a top 5 guy. But he's boomer bust in the way that like he could be top 15 or he could be 90th this next
Yeah.
I think he
just
could be a
this
top
next season.
5 guy.
Season.
Oh, no.
Okay,
no.
who is he beating out?
Well, if you're telling me that he had a great season, the rest of the other receivers.
Well, yeah. If anyone has a great season, they could be top 5.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Ridley is capable of having a great season.
I think Ridley's great, and Jefferson through Devontae Adams great are totally different.
I mean, Ridley was starting to get there before he got suspended.
Yeah, it was like the
Yeah,
worst time in his career that he could have gotten
season, he
suspended.
was wide receiver 5.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you mean that he doesn't have a chance of doing that?
Well, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And
wide
he had
receivers
noodle
never
arm
got
Matt
that
Ryan
close.
thrown to him. I'd much rather have Trevor Lawrence than Matt Ryan even back then. So like, if he kicks off the rust early, and he's still young. He could easily be. I mean, I have him ranked like 22 though. So
Yeah, I think the tight end love and Christian Kirk's consistent production are going to hurt him.
You can't
Christian
say that
Kirk's
because
not
he had
gonna
Julio
stop.
Jones. Julio Jones was the
But
best wide
Julio
receiver
Jones
in
was
football for a year
allergic
or
to
two.
the end zone.
That's fair.
So Ridley got all the touchdowns.
But I'm just
Ridley
saying,
was also really good though. Like
He
come on.
was.
I'm not down his talent. I just think that he hasn't played football in a long time, and Trevor Lawrence has weapons he likes in that offense.
To me, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good comp.
I did think of one.
Pete Rose.
Okay.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's not bad.
All right.
Had a lot of hype and then tore his ACL and hasn't been fine since. That's kind of where I'm ranking him, but I do believe that Calvin Ridley has the upside to be top 5. Just will that happen? Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So he came in at 22nd in our rankings, coming in at 23rd. Christian Watson, and pretty polarizing as well. Myself and Trent are the lowest on him at 29th. Alex and Austin highest at 20th, and then Rosie right smack dab in the middle at 24. And so, Austin, I'll start with you. Just, I mean, not a huge variance, but you got him as a top 20 guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's touchdowns to me. I mean, it's the same conversation you have about Desmond Ridder, right? Except it's Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I'm not as down on Jordan Love as maybe some people on the podcast. I think Christian Watson will get his production, and if he catches touchdowns, he could be a top 20 receiver. But yeah, I mean, his floor's pretty low. But I think I like him better than Ayuk and other people I have lower than him. So,
I think I'm out on Jordan Love because recently he tried to be like Aaron Rodgers and own the Bears fans, and he failed miserably at that.
it did not work at all.
He didn't even say it right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't even execute like a nice jab at a division opponent, like, I don't think you got that dog in you, man.
Yeah, pretty cringy.
He's all love.
Yeah. So I think you said it was the touchdowns, and that's why you're higher on him, Austin. To me, I think it's the touchdowns, and that's why I'm lower on him.
That's fair.
Like, he was so touchdown dependent last year, and maybe he sees an increase in volume, but I know Rosie was high on Dobbs last year, and I still think he's a nice player, and I just don't know what kind of opportunities he's going to get in a Jordan Love offense. So
yeah, I don't think we've seen enough sample size from Jordan Love. So
yeah,
we'll see.
All right,
Seen a sample size for Jordan Love.
He's seen a couple games. That's it.
exactly.
Right.
All right, moving on to one of Rosie's guys. Brandon Ayuk comes in number 24 on our rankings, and pretty polarizing. Austin's got him 31. Rosie, shocker, is highest at 20th. Trent's also pretty high at 22. So let's start with the case for Ayuk.
He came along. If you watched the last couple of games for the 49ers with Brock Purdy, he was kind of starting to look like he was taking the reins from Debo a little bit.
He was looking like a star.
Yeah, he was looking pretty good. So I'm a 22, but okay. This might be a top 10 type thing here.
I think he could be too. He finished 15 last year, which I feel like would surprise most people. And he was in the doghouse for the first 6 games of the season, and then
He got all his production in the last half of the season. So
yeah,
you know who
I think
else
that
did that a
he's-
couple of years ago? Sun God. So we shall see.
he was a rookie though, so that's different.
Statistically, that means Rosie should be out.
I knew it was coming. I knew it wasn't going to make any sense, but I knew it was coming.
Oh, Trent, I see your baby. She's doing tummy time out the door.
Oh, nice.
Trent's baby's on the. She was. down
Was
there.
she?
That's a dog, Austin.
Oh, that's not your baby.
That's the other
No.
Rosie.
I did see Michelle carrying your baby. Eventually.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I thought Trent was going to walk over and close the curtains.
Hey, you liked me.
Hi, puppy Rosie.
I like that dog.
We're dog people here making the call.
We are. I like Trent's dogs better than my own dogs. I also like Dirk better than my own dogs.
Yeah, Dirk was a big fan of you whenever y'all stayed here.
I freaking love that guy.
Yeah.
What a dude.
What a dude.
So I think for the reason why I'm out on Ayuk, I'm not totally out. Because he did come along late in the season. I think A, I just need to see it, and B, I mean, right now I think he's probably the third or fourth like weapon on that offense. So I just need to see it from him. And if we do, great. I mean, yeah, top 10 potential, but I just need to see it. So
Yeah. All right, next 25th we got Christian Kirk, and he was actually pretty polarizing. Trent's the highest at
You
19.
don't gotta say that after every player.
Well, not everyone was.
The last 5 have been apparently.
They have.
they, look at the
Look at the
descriptions.
spreadsheet.
Actually, pretty polarizing.
Mix up your
Actually pretty
vocabulary a little
Okay,
bit.
so
Little
Christian Kirk,
podcasting.
we're kind of all over the place.
We have a difference.
There
of
we
opinion.
go. There we go. You're learning. 2 years into this.
Oh man, Trent, you got him ranked 19th. Rosie, you got him 34.
Trent's so hungry he's eating his chair.
Rosie, so let's see. You've got him 20, or you've got him 34, and you've got Calvin Ridley 22. So it seems like
I think you can see what's going on there.
you expect Ridley to take over the reins pretty quickly.
Yeah, I do. And I like Kirk. I liked him with the Cardinals. So I had a lot of him last year. But he's one of those players that's pretty good. But as soon as there is a real number 1 wide receiver on the team, I think his value will fall. And I think Calvin Ridley's good enough.
They just paid him so much money for him not to be a big part of their offense.
I don't know why I had Calvin Ridley higher than Christian Kirk. That's not good. Because I think Christian Kirk is going to have a better year.
I was pleasantly surprised by Kirk last year.
Yeah, the over was nice.
As Trent said, they gave him the big contract, and so I think we all expected them to utilize him in that offense because
Best Aggie in the league.
you've got better than Myles Garrett. Okay, sure.
Okay, Ryan
If you
Tannehill.
say so.
He's the
Hey,
second.
you said it, not me.
He's the second best Aggie in the league.
We all know Austin Young is on Mason Rudolph's side in that whole dispute. So,
Gosh, I wish his face would have gotten smashed in.
but no, I watched a good deal of Jack's games last year, and it didn't feel like empty stats with him. Like it felt like he was coming up in pretty key moments in those games, where it would be like a 3rd and 8, and 5 minutes left in the game, and he's running an out route, and he does a little toe drag, to move the chains. And so I think even with adding Ridley to that offense, I think Kirk carved himself out a nice role last year that, I don't know, I think he's still going to have a good follow-up year this season. So
I think he'll be a good wide receiver 3.
okay. Chris Godwin comes in at 26, and Rosie, you're highest on him. I'm lowest on him, but to me, this is just kind of, are you betting on past performance, or are you betting on the fact that he has Baker Mayfield throwing him the football?
Or Kyle Trask.
I'm betting on Mike Evans being better than Chris Godwin.
I think Gronk comes out of retirement to play quarterback before they start Kyle Trask.
I think that's a mistake.
I think they are so down on Kyle Trask. I think they will start anyone before they start him this year.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they like him.
No.
But
Like they would
Yeah.
probably get the mannequin from the team store with the Brady jersey and put him behind center, just to make the defense think they have Tom Brady back there, before they just say, "Hey, Kyle, you're in."
Well,
So-
I think I like that they got rid of their offensive coordinator, who was there last year. That guy was really bad.
Todd Bowles,
He's the coach.
Byron Leftwich.
Byron
Byron, yeah.
Leftwich.
Former Jaguar, great. Byron Leftwich.
He was horrible.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
And Todd Bowles isn't much better. So I don't think that guy will be as good as he has been in the past. But, he's an incredible talent. He's proven that. And I think that he will be good enough. So
Okay.
Mike Evans.
I just don't
catches
see him
touchdowns.
finishing outside the top 20 wide receivers. I don't see it.
I think the concern with him would just be the injuries, because he is a little more injury prone than other guys.
Yeah. It's been weird stuff though, like his thumb and ACL. and that's about it.
Yeah,
ACL
but
is not a
isn't
weird
he also
thing.
kind of the guy where like he'll be hurt, but he won't be injured? So like he'll be a game time decision.
No, that's Mike Evans. That's Mike
Really?
Evans.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, he'll play, but
Mike Evans will play if a bus hit him the day before.
Well, we're gonna get to him in a second. We've got Keenan Allen coming in next at 27th, and I don't know. Y'all have anything on Keenan Allen? No.
I think we kind of already talked about him.
Okay. Mike Evans 28. Probably a
Alex and I are
similar
on the same
similar
page.
conversation as Chris Godwin.
Trent has him at 18.
Oh,
That's a good look, Trent.
He's a big dog, catches a lot of footballs that come his way.
He can get up.
and he has
I
shown you that he can win you your league.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I got second in the 8-8 league last year because Colt had Brady and Evans.
Serves you right. You had Jamar Chase the other year.
I know.
In that year, you should have been eliminated in the first round.
It's
We
going to
didn't
be
have
50
frickin-
years from now. Trent's going to be retired, sitting on a
We had
front
freaking
porch
divisions. And
rocking
Andrew was
chair.
the sixth highest scorer, so he got a first round
Trent's
bye.
gonna
'cause
be
he
like,
won his stupid
Sonny,
division."
get over here. Let me tell you about this fantasy league that I was in, where Andrew should have been out, but we had divisions, and they're going to be like,
Thing.
Trent's just gonna tell his grandkids about the graveyard of fantasy leagues.
his
that he left
grandkids are going to be
behind
like,
him.
Dad, what's football? We don't. Is that ancient sport that y'all used to play?
The Russian government doesn't allow football anymore.
Jeez. So we had Mike Evans 28, Mike Williams coming in at 29, and I'm highest on him at 19.
29.
I'm surprised that like Trent has him 36, Rosie 33. Why are we out on Mike Williams?
Because he jumps
Why are
10
you
feet in
in
the
on
air,
it?
falls down, and gets hurt.
Yeah.
But he showed, what was it, 2 years ago when he kind of
He
had
started
his
getting
breakout?
out.
Was that, am I remembering that correctly?
It's a run first team.
Yeah, 2021 he was wide receiver 12. It's not a run first team. They have Kellen Moore calling plays now.
Okay, that's true. Austin Eckler gets all the touches. All the
Like to
touchdowns.
me, I think this is the Kellen Moore equation. They're going to be throwing it a lot more, and they're probably going to be throwing it deep because of all the conversations these past couple seasons of not using Herbert to his full potential. So, if you're saying there's going to be more deep ball passing, who does that benefit?
I also think it's. What do you think of Quentin Johnson?
I don't think that's going to matter for 2023.
Andrew, I think
So is it
supporting
dynasty?
Mike Williams at 28 is like supporting Corey Davis when he had his after he had his good season. I think they're very similar players. Have had one
Very
decent
different
season.
situations, though. I mean, Corey Davis was in Tennessee with Tannehill, and Williams is going to be in a pass-happy offense with Herbert.
Maybe.
Yeah.
As
I
long
mean,
as
Keenan Allen's
Eckler's
there, Quentin Johnson's there.
Austin Eckler's catching passes too.
Even Josh Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah, I
all right.
liked what I saw from Josh Palmer.
Once Josh Palmer enters the conversation of why you're down on Mike Williams, I think we can move on.
Josh Palmer put together a couple good fantasy games
Yeah, this
last
is
year.
pretty
Yeah, I don't know what you're
polarizing.
talking about.
You punk. Let's see. Tyler Lockett 30, and then Michael Pittman 31, and DeAndre Hopkins
Well,
32.
these could be disagreeable.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
This could be polarizing.
I was trying to use a word other than polarizing.
Let me go to thesaurus.com.
Apparently, you didn't do that before you typed all this.
Dinosaurs are dead, Andrew.
That was such a dumb joke. Why did I laugh?
Because it was
The delivery was great.
Because I'm a dad.
Yeah, I think it was the delivery. Yeah, I mean, so Lockett 30, Pittman 31, Hopkins 32. Just outside the top 32, we got Jahan Dawson 33, Pickens 34, and Marquise Brown 35. So that's our top 32. How do we feel about it now that it's all said and done?
That's not bad.
Pretty solid list, I'd say.
I kind of think so too. I mean, I think there's some polarizing players
If I hear polarizing one more time.
But overall, I think it's a pretty good list. But I did want to ask y'all, so looking at your specific rankings, what's a player that you're lower on than consensus that you're the most confident that you're going to be right by the end of the season? Like you're fading this guy and you just know you're going to feel vindicated as the season goes along.
Can I go first?
Stephon
Please.
Diggs. No.
Michael Pittman.
Ooh.
I think that you saw last year that he's not that good. And now with Anthony Richardson there, I think we're going to see the Justin Fields effect of them throwing like 10 times a game. And there's other receivers that I like better on that team than Pittman. So I think that his star was bright, but he's done.
Interesting.
Mine's Tyler Lockett.
You think this
It
is the
just
year he
reminds
just
me of
falls
me
off?
playing. It just reminds me of me playing intramural football. Just
Bomb
run
squad?
straight down the field. That's all he's got. Throw it as far as you can. Have him go catch it.
You don't have balding like he does, though.
This is true. My grandpa died with a full head of hair, so I'm looking pretty sweet there.
Nice.
There you go.
I think for me, it's Chris Godwin. I think
Godwin,
it's
okay.
the injury history. I think it's Mike Evans is a better receiver than Chris Godwin. And I think the quarterback uncertainty, I'm fading him pretty hard.
I'm faded.
Godwin's a good one. That's who I was kind of leaning towards, but to say someone else,
I don't want to say Ayuk because
I'll say AJ Brown.
Ooh, that's.
I
definitely
think
the
you
most
saw the
polarizing
career year
one.
out of him last year. I don't think you see that from him again.
So, all right, make the call. What wide receiver? What?
Justin Jefferson.
He is going to be wide receiver. Let's see. I had him ranked.
Say anything
10th?
below 10.
Yeah, he won't be a top 10 guy in 2023.
This is going to be a guy that haunts you for the rest of your life.
At least
I
Trent
think the
turned
Eagles
corner.
team is also going to haunt you.
I
what happened to
cannot
You're going to
wait.
be very wrong.
I cannot wait for the over-unders to get posted on Bovada so that I can smash the under on Eagles win total. What just happened to the rankings?
None.
What is going
Trent figured out how to use Google Sheets, everybody.
It's not me.
Oh, it's Austin.
Yeah, I wasn't resizing everything though. I was just messing with the cell.
Okay.
Hey, I thought that letter, that word was the perfect size.
Never seen it that size.
All right. So, and then on the flip side, what's a player that you're higher on than consensus that you're also just as confident that you're going to be right?
Garrett Wilson.
That this is kind of like your buys and your sells, like a guy that you're really high on, that you're trying to acquire because you know now is the time to get in.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
That
Why?
would be mine as well.
Really? Okay.
Jahad Dotson.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I've seen a lot of people thinking that you can get some serious value for him. So
Not for me.
Just to be different, though, I would also say Jameson Williams.
oh gosh.
All right.
For next year?
Yeah. Man,
Go miss the first 6 games.
you
but
got to know when to fold
You're
them.
0-6.
I want to win the playoffs. First 6 games doesn't matter to me. I'll win them.
But you gotta know when to hold him, Andrew.
Yeah. Know
Know
when to
when to
walk
fold 'em.
Away, Rosie.
Know when to run.
He hasn't even played yet. We don't know.
Exactly.
You never count your money. All right. That's going to do it for the podcast.
Wait,
Thank
what was
you.
yours?
What's that?
What was yours?
Oh. If it's just redraft, I would say Mike Williams. If it's dynasty,
You're that confident in Mike Williams?
I am.
You're gonna say Amon Ra?
No, I would say probably. I don't know. If you wanted like a fringe guy, I would say George Pickens. If you wanted someone a little bit better, then I mean, based on how our rankings shook out, I would say Drake London. Because I just think that
You already acquired him, so
yeah, I did. I think last year it was the least amount of time, like the least amount of passing they're going to do in that offense moving forward. I think it's only going to go up. So I want stock of London or Pitts or whoever. So, all right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Making the Call. Thank you to Austin and Rosie and Trent for being on this week. Alex, we hope you're feeling better, man. Make sure you're drinking that liquid IV so you stay hydrated as you're battling
hey,
Stop
plug.
the gambling.
whatever you're going through.
Plug. It's gambling withdrawals.
Hey, Trent, it is that time of the episode. You got a dad joke for us.
Oh, dang it, I got a good one too today.
Austin, pages 1 to 124.
Let's go with like 30.
Let's go with number between 1 and 3.
2.
I saw a baby owl caught in the rain. It was a moist owlet.
Do another one.
I got.
Here we go.
How does a salad say grace?
How?
Let us pray.
Let us pray.
That one's better. I like that
I want
one.
to hear Austin's.
Guys, I got a good one I've been sitting on for a while. It's awful. So my grandpa was a dyslexic baker in the army. He always went in buns glazing. It's
Anyway,
a
wrap it up.
It's a slow burn. Just let it sit.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I told you it was bad.
Yeah. You told the truth.
Rosie's out.
Rosie just left. That's going to do it for the podcast. We'll be back next week, wrapping up the month of rankings, finishing it off with the top 32 quarterbacks. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the week. Make sure you go try Liquid IV. Use code MTC for 20% off at checkout. You also get free shipping with that, so make sure you go try Liquid IV today. Stay hydrated all summer long. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
You? Oh, come on, Leody.
Rosie actually needs to come back and finish up so that his track can upload.
Oh, poor guy. 3-0. Heaney's looking good. Heaney's only given up 2 hits and 5 innings. That's much better.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later. El cliente de servicio móvil al que llaman no se encuentra disponible.
Let me try and get him.
We're just going to force upload it. Should work. Yeah, just... force finalize.
The wireless customer you are calling.
All right. I'm going to go watch the Ranger game.
See you, man.
I'm out.